I have been wanting to try this machine for such a long time and show all you how awesome this machine is. Hey everybody, Nick here, also known as the Bearded Housewife, and I am so excited for today's video. Today I am going to be unboxing the xTool M1 laser and blade cutting machine. I have been wanting to try this machine for such a long time, and thank you so much to xTool for sending it to me so that I can review it and show all you how awesome this machine is. What makes the xTool M1 different is that not only is it a laser cutter, it also has a blade, so it will cut out paper and vinyl and leather just like our Cricut machines. How cool is that? So let's go ahead and get the machine all set up. The first thing I'm going to do is pull on this tab. This is what's going to release the packaging and open up the box for us. It was a little difficult for me to start with, but once I got it done, I was good to go. Now I'm going to start to remove all of the packaging that came with the machine. It was really well packaged, just a lot of stuff to remove before we actually get to the point where we can start to use this machine. I'm going to take out the foam. This is a little thank you letter from the creators. We have our user manual and our package of starter materials. We'll go through that a little bit later. This is the exhaust hose that's going to connect to the machine and be vented out a window. This is the plug. That was a USB cable there. These are our blades for our machine. They look pretty familiar, huh? They look like the Cricut blades. They come in a cool little carrying case. This is the plastic housing for the hose. It's what the hose is actually going to attach to once it's all set up. The little clamp for the hose. And the screws. Alright, so I've removed the rest of that packaging on the inside there. I'm going to take out this piece of styrofoam that's protecting the housing. There's another piece of styrofoam on the other side, and that is going to hold your triangular prisms. You're going to want to remove that from the styrofoam and just set those to the side for now. I'm going to take out our cutting mats. They look pretty familiar, don't they? They're pretty much the same colors as our Cricut ones that we're used to. You've got your paper cutting mat and then your fabric cutting mat. I'm going to set those to the side. Now right here is where the housing is for the blade and the laser. You want to pull down on the gold housing for the blade. To add the blade, you're going to remove that plastic cover that is over the blade itself, just like with the Cricut. Press down on the plunger and then feed the blade right through, and you don't have to push too hard, just release the plunger and then it is inside the housing. Very easy to do. And now you're going to take that housing with the blade pointed down and you're going to feed it back into the hole that you pulled it from in the housing. It's actually magnetic, so it's really easy to pop in and out. Now I'm going to take those triangular prisms, I've taken them out of the packaging, and I'm going to place them inside the machine. Now they just rest on the bottom of the machine. If you're not familiar with laser cutting machines, and this is my first one, so I'm learning as I'm going along as well, these triangular prisms sit on the base of the machine and they actually are what your material rests on. The reason that they are there is to create airflow between the bottom of the machine and the product. I'm going to assume that is to help with burn marks and scorching. There's no rhyme or reason to adding all of these. There's no set area that you can place them. I'm just placing them all in just so that they all stay within the machine. I don't think that once we get to the point where we're actually going to be cutting anything or using the laser, we don't need all of them all at the same time. Like I said, I'm just placing them in there so that everything kind of stays in the same place. I'm going to try to space them out a little bit better too. Now I'm going to attach the pipe housing. This is the plastic piece that needs to be screwed onto the machine that is going to hold the hose in place for the smoke to vent out. I just used my hands. This was really easy to put together. The screws worked perfectly. I did not need to use any tools. I just hand tightened them and it seems to have been working just fine. Now I'm going to grab the pipe clamp and I'm going to feed the hose through that clamp, giving a few inches of space so that the hose can actually attach to that plastic piece. Now I'm going to feed the hose onto that plastic piece and then feed the clamp over that to really secure the hose so that there's no leakage of any of the smoke. Alright, and now I'm going to just vent the hose out the window. Now I'll go ahead and attach the USB cord and then plug that into my computer. Attach the power cord and then make sure to plug that into a power source, obviously. And now the machine is booting up. You can see that by that white ring on the power button. And it is running through its initial setup. And that's it. Our M1 machine is all set up and ready to cut out our first project. Wasn't that setup super simple? I was very nervous, I have to admit. I was nervous because I've never had a laser machine before. I didn't know how it was going to fit on my table. I didn't know how I was going to vent it out at first. Behind the camera, I actually have a window, so it actually worked out perfectly for my setup. But it was really simple to put together. I was very, very surprised. I told you I was going to go through our materials that are included, the little sample materials pack, so let's go ahead and do that now. In our little sampler pack, we have a very good size piece of 3mm basswood. I'm really excited to be using this. We have a good size piece of pastel cardstock, some orange leather, and then some orange vinyl. Lastly, we have this really sweet dog tag that would be perfect to engrave or etch your dog's name on. So as you can see, we have a great variety of materials to get started and to really just go ahead and play with the machine. I am so excited to get started with this machine. In future videos, I will be showing you how to download and use the software, how to make our first project cut, and I'm even going to be doing a comparison video of our cutting machines that we're used to from Cricut versus this cutting machine and laser cutter from xTool. I hope that you're just as excited as I am for this new machine that's really going to change how we think of laser cutters. Thanks again to xTool for sending me the machine. I am so grateful to be able to review this for my channel. And to all of you, I hope that you join me for the other videos. I'm Nick, I'm the Bearded Housewife, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.